Hey everyone, Darren Eastman here, Principal Product Manager for GitLab Runner Core and Fleet Visibility. I'm doing a solo run of our 17.2 Runner Kickoff video. So let me just quickly share my screen and so we can talk about what we are working on in 17.2. So as a quick recap and sort of to set the stage, let me just pop over to our direction pages. So in case you've forgotten, we've been following along on all of our sort of like fabulous videos. We have direction pages for both Runner Core and for Fleet Visibility. So if at a high level, anytime you're interested in understanding what we're thinking about in terms of like the long-term vision, strategic plans, and those types of things, your starting point, your single source of truth is going to be the direction pages. And so you see the link here for Fleet Visibility, and then the other link here for Runner Core. Now, before I chat about what we are working on in 17.2, I want to give it a little bit of context in terms of what we did in 17.1 for Fleet Visibility, before I kind of chat about kind of what's happening in 17.2 as we set the stage for additional features coming in the subsequent iterations. So as a quick recap, in 17.1, sorry, we released the Runner Fleet dashboard for groups, which is this feature that you're seeing on the screen. So later on this week, when 17.1 gets shipped, gets released, you'll be able to take advantage. If you're on GitLab.com in Ultimate plan, you'll start being able to take advantage of this new embedded observability feature for your Runner fleet directly in the GitLab UI. So this was like a bunch of follow-on work that we did, starting with 16.6 or so, where we introduced initially the fleet dashboard for the admin level. This is the follow-on to that, and now it's available for groups. So if you're on GitLab.com in Ultimate, you'll see it. If you're self-managed and you adopt 17.2, and then you do go through the additional steps of configuring the database required to run some of the metrics on this screen, you'll be able to take advantage of this new embedded observability feature. So I just want to set the stage, because I want to flip over to talk about 17.2 and what we're looking at in 17.2. So in 17.2, I'm going to start first with the Fleet Visibility section. We aren't planning to ship any major new features from a direction perspective in 17.2 for Fleet. 17.2 is going to be a more of a foundational iteration, i.e., we are putting some building blocks in place to enable us to ship additional new features and capabilities, hopefully starting in 17.3. If things don't go well in terms of our aggressive timing, then those new features and capabilities will be in 17.4. So the foundational rule that we've got on deck for Fleet Visibility in 17.2 is related not directly to the fleet dashboard I just talked about, because we want to go ahead and get feedback on that new capability before we decide what the next level of investment is in terms of observability features. We have some ideas on the docket in terms of things we are planning to add in 17.5, but first we want to get some feedback just in case we need to readjust those plans. So in 17.2 Fleet Visibility, we'll be doing some foundational work on our CI Insights feature. And the first piece of the foundational work we're doing there is setting the stage so that we can refine or update the analytics view for CI Analytics that's currently in the GitLab UI today at the project level. And that's going to be sort of the building blocks to enable us to create a better CI Insights observability feature set directly in the UI, and one that's much more valuable to our developer personas. So 17.2 for Fleet Visibility, again, much more of a foundational release for us in terms of us putting some foundational pieces in place. We also, I just want to call out one other thing. We're also going to be having an internal discussion in terms of how to correlate the sort of analytics views that we're building in part of that CI Insights sort of Bible and complete feature set with some of the other ideas for tracing and observability. So there are additional discussions happening in terms of how we can effectively, from a user experience perspective, from a usability experience, and dare I say it, from a UI interaction point of view, seamlessly blend those experiences. What we want to do is, of course, make sure that the developer persona has the information they need within the GitLab UI to make the right decisions around your pipeline optimization. We want to do so in a way that is meaningful, and that also is in alignment with our long-term visions of ensuring that we have one of the best UIs in the market. So that's something that for fleet visibility. In terms of runner core, on new features, I'm not going to talk about the fact that, as again, every iteration for runner core, we do have a high level of investment in each iteration in terms of addressing bugs in the runner core product, because it's critical for us to ensure that as you are using GitLab CI, right, you can do so effectively in the different platforms that you're running GitLab CI on. Again, if you're self-managing your runner fleets or your CI fleets. And so every iteration, heavy investment on our side in terms of addressing bugs. In terms of new features, what we are aiming to release in 17.2, that's a new feature for the runner core side of the house, is the fleeting plugin for AWS. And so what this is, and just to give you a quick recap, in 17.1, we are transitioning our new auto-scaling solution, which is based on fleeting, new technology we call fleeting and task scale, GitLab developed technology. We're transitioning that feature set to GA. The first plugin that we have transitioned or will be transitioned to GA by the time 17.1 releases is the fleeting plugin for Google Compute Engine. 17.2, we plan to transition the fleeting plugin for AWS EC2 instances to GA. So the main feature, the new feature for us in GA, the main feature for us in 17.2 for runner core is the transition of this fleeting plugin for AWS EC2 to general availability. One other thing that we're working on as well, that's, you can see here on the screen, it's called CI log rendering and timestamp to CI logs. This is really a runner core feature set, as well as a feature set that requires a lot of work on the Rails side. And so we've been sort of tag teaming between our runner core team as well as our fleet visibility team to deliver this feature set. We have a lot of this stuff enabled right now behind feature flags on GitLab.com as of 17.1. Our goal in 17.2 is to address a couple of open issues that we have in terms of the rendering, and then to enable by default the timestamps logging feature. So that's kind of what we've got on deck. That is what we have on deck for GitLab Runner Core and for Fleet for 17.2. Looking forward to chatting with you next time when we chat about all of our great plans for 17.3. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.